Before we get started, I just want you to know what a momentous occasion this is for me to do this particular car review. I gotta tell you, when I first began my automotive selling career, way back in the day, I started as a car salesman at Rosenthal Chevrolet in Arlington, Virginia. And I have to tell you, it was my first experience and introduction to the automotive world and selling in general. And it was a wild and crazy experience, to say the least. As a matter of fact, the Rosenthal Chevrolet dealership I worked at was the original family store that was founded back in 1954. So there's a lot of heritage there. Well, it's been 10 years since the original store moved on, but Rosenthal Chevrolet is back. Only now it's in Alexandria, Virginia. This is our first chance to review a Chevy in so long. And what do you think we should review? Anything in particular? Nah, I knew you were gonna say that. They're all pre-sold, we can't drive them, and we all know they're amazing anyway. So instead, we're gonna review the brand new 2020 Chevy Blazer. It joined the Chevy family lineup once again last year as the 2019 model, after it had been absent for over 10 years. Now, of course, everybody knows the Blazer was introduced in 1969 and started out like a truck-like sedan and had evolved in so many ways over the years, where now it's a sculptured two-row mid-size SUV. And this new Blazer is sandwiched between the Equinox and the Traverse. And it comes in a variety of trim levels and engine choices. The L or base model and the LT both come with the 2.5-liter direct injected four-cylinder engine generating 193 horsepower, 188 pound-feet of torque. But it's available only in front-wheel drive. The rest of the trim levels have available all-wheel drive. Now, the 2LT and the 3LT both come with the 2-liter inline turbocharged engine, putting out 230 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Or you can spend another $500 and get the 3.6-liter V6 as well. Now, the RS, like we're looking at in the Premier, both come with the 3.6-liter direct injected V6 engine, putting out 308 horsepower, 269 pound-feet of torque. And they're all equipped with a 9-speed automatic transmission and have a variety of drive modes available, such as the X2, the front-wheel drive mode, X4 is all-wheel drive, sport mode, off-road when you want to put the Trailblazer to the trail, and you also have a tow haul mode when you have the properly equipped 6-cylinder engine that can tow up to 4,500 pounds. Now, the Blazers range anywhere from a starting point of $30,000 up to $44,000 plus. And that's before you start to add all of the fun stuff and extra options available. Now, the new Blazer is built with a unitized body construction, which is lighter yet stronger. And that comes with an independent suspension with McPherson struts in front and multi-link rear suspension in the back. And of course, it has definitely a bold and aggressive stance with just a touch of sophistication, plus a little bit of Camaro styling thrown in for good measure, both inside and out. Let's take a closer look at it and see what you think. As I mentioned earlier, the RS comes with the 3.6-liter, 308 horsepower, 269 pound-feet of torque V6 engine with variable valve timing electronic control. And of course, we can have our all-wheel drive system in here. But what I love about Chevys is how simply the engines are laid out for just simple routine maintenance. I mean, you can check your windshield washer fluid here. You got your maintenance-free battery set right up on top. You have your battery fuse relay system over here, your engine overflow coolant system, your brake fluid reservoir. You can check your oil. You can add your oil. You've got an air filter there. You can even check your CFC, chlorofluorocarbon-free refrigerant that you can right there, should you so desire. I think I'm reverting back to my old car selling days, don't you? As far as the exterior styling is concerned, the 2020 Blazer has a menacing front end. There's no doubt about it with this broad grille, especially on our RS edition with the black gloss across it. Plus, I look at these and call them my snake eye LED daytime running lights, as well as their projector high-intensity discharge beam here, and your front grille air dam all the way around with the bright black and chrome accent for the bow tie. God, I miss that bow tie. And then you come around to the side and you look at the rake back windshield, the sloping rear roof line, and then of course the styling cues that come up here where you have a floating, well, it's hard to see on the gray, but a floating roof line as well. And as you look at these gorgeous 20-inch rims, man, it is absolutely sweet. And there are even special edition RS rims available as well. And you could go up to a 21-inch rim should you so desire for about another grand. Well, not for that one, you got to pay for 4 at one time. But anyway, it's one of the best looking midsize SUVs I think I've ever seen. The rear of the 2020 Blazer is almost as menacing as the front, with the integrated rear spoiler, the sloping back glass, the overhang here, which protects the rear backup camera, these beautiful LED brake lights, backup lights, plus the RS edition has the black gloss diffuser, and it's flanked on either side by these broad chrome-tipped exhausts, which is, you know, pretty menacing looking to a degree. But something not quite as menacing is your ability with the swipe of a foot, hands-free tailgate. It does come in handy, and this is a double adjustable height version. There's actually a control on the inside of the driver's door. In the back, with the back seat down, you've got 30.5 cubic feet of cargo space. And if you need more, you simply pull the latches and you have 60 point something, I forget exactly, but it folds flat. So that's a reasonable cargo space. As well as you have a couple side cup areas here, little additional storage cubbies. And down here, there's additional storage area in case you go off-roading, you've got wet clothing or items you want to put back here. Protected, and your emergency tire. So it's practical and high performance. Well, the back seats of any midsize SUV is always an adventure, but this is a pleasant one. The middle seat is not much to speak of, but at least the floor is relatively flat, which is a good thing. Now, as you slide over, now you've got more room to spare. So I would call this a good 2-seater, emergency 3-seater is needed. Back here, you have a certain amount of versatility. You have little cubbies for storage here, a little bit larger one underneath the center console. You have behind each of these seats a little pocket area. And as you pull down, you've got your double cup holder here, or just simply a nice armrest. And then you have the ability, with a 60-40 split, you could drop the seats down, carry more cargo, or you, or 2 people, or whatever. So that's always nice. But now, if I need more cargo in the back and still hold 4 people, I can do that by sliding it. And you have a nice cutout behind each of these front seats, so that adds a little more leg room and knee room. Plus you have a decent amount of headroom here. Taller people, 6 foot and above, it's going to be tight. But they could also, if needed, recline their seats just a little bit. So that's a good thing. As far as power is concerned, the kids back here have a choice of 2 USBs, just like in the front, the regular and the C, I do believe it's called. And you also have a 120-volt outlet, which comes in handy as well. One of the nice things is that some people complain about the visibility out back, and it is somewhat limited, but thank you, Chevrolet, with the push of a button, you can drop your headrests so the people in front can get a much better view. All right, finally get a chance to cruise around town here a little bit. And I love the commanding view of SUVs. It just gives you such a feeling of confidence on the highway. And of course you have a higher ground clearance as well. So that's always a plus. Let's check out the acceleration, shall we? Whoa, come on. Okay. It's adequate. Very adequate. Man, it just felt like, And I'm not even in sport mode. Not even in sport mode. You've got a certain amount of punch, especially with the 6-cylinder, of course. But even the turbocharged 4 does a nice job, I'm sure. You do hear the transmission, though, wind through the gears. And I guess if that was, an Achilles heel, because every vehicle has one, I would say it's the transmission itself. A little noisier than it should be. The transmission's not the strongest in the world, but it's certainly not the worst. And you do have the 9 gears to go through, which, gives you one more gear than 8. The other thing is they don't give you sport shift, and this is the RS edition. Hello? Or paddle shifters. So you're kind of limited in that regard. And this is the RS edition, dare I say it once again. And this will have a tighter steering response. This will have a stiffer chassis response as well, and give it a better road feel as far as that's concerned. We're riding on 20-inch rims. You can get up to 21-inch rims, and I think they look cool because you have that space in the wheel well, but you're gonna, your ride quality is gonna suffer. But if you're just riding around town, things like that, and you wanna look good, try the 21s. You have a nicely styled interior with a little bit of a minimalist feel to it, with these tiny buttons at the bottom for your, air conditioning, etc. And then this magnificent feel with the, air vents. So large and manly. Especially when they're highlighted with the red, like the stitching. And the technology is laid out nice and easy. All of your regular readouts and your multimedia interface display dead center. You can scroll through different items you can check out. How far can I go? What's my tire pressure, oil pressure, all of those wonderful pressures. No pressure. But I like to keep it on the digital speedometer. That's always my favorite. I like seeing where I'm at. I don't like to look at needles anymore. I am spoiled to death. That's why I'm spoiled with the infotainment system. It's got the 8-inch screen, easily accessible for both the driver and the passenger. It's very touch responsive, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can flip through. You can have a Wi-Fi hotspot in here for 4G. This vehicle also has the navigation, very simple, intuitive. You have your home button down on the screen, so you even have your camera settings. I can see what's going on behind me. You have your fan controls here, dead center. You just got to look for them and recognize them. Defroster system, windshield defroster, things like that, rear defroster. A couple center USBs, just like in your armrest. Down here, you've got a 12-volt, plus you have USBs to boot. So you've got 6 of them in this particular vehicle. Now, I can't talk about vehicles without talking about their stereo systems. And the reality of it is the base model and a few trim levels up come with a 6-speaker stereo system standard, but you can get the 8-speaker Bose system, which I definitely would. I don't care if I was driving a pogo stick down the street. I want the best stereo system possible. But that's just me. The seats are nicely bolstered, obviously. Very comfortable, and I like I said, I like the mid seats. Those are good too, but these are even better. Oh, and you can get heated seats as well, just so you know. You do have a little storage area down here on the side. Oh, this is where that control is for your rear hatch. You can do full height, half height, or turn it off even, which is interesting. And to open the glove box, there's a button right here on the dash. Cha-ching. Go figure. I like the panoramic moonroof, and this would open, but I can't because I've got a camera sitting up there. That would be ugly. But it is. It gives a beautiful indoor-outdoor feel. I love sunroofs or moonroofs, you decide. And the people in the back get a little bit more headroom, as well as the ambiance, that indoor-outdoor feel. There's your auto start stop feature again. Chevy does a really nice job with it. Bam, it's there, it's back, it's there, it's back. It's one of those features you have to get used to. But if you don't want to hang with it, just turn it off. Here we go. Hold on. Dun-dun-dun. Oh, and speaking of safety, you have your usual array of safety features. As the trim level goes up, you get more of them. Your lane keep assist, your adaptive cruise control, blind spot detection like you see right there, backup camera, cross traffic sensor, four-wheel ABS, traction control, electronic brake force distribution, all that wonderful stuff. I've always been impressed with the automotive technology that's been enhancing the vehicle's performance and our safety year after year after year. But there's one feature on the Blazer that I haven't run across before, and that is the rear seat reminder feature. That is, if you leave something of importance, say, I don't know, a briefcase back there, or a suitcase on the rear seat, or, well, maybe a pet, or even your child. If you get out of the car, it'll beep 3 times to alert you. Now, I don't know if that's taking technology too far, but the reality of it is, if it saves just one life, or be it pet or child, then it's definitely worthwhile. Thank you, Chevy. I appreciate it. I told you earlier on I began my career selling Chevy, so I'm a little bit biased towards that. But the reality of it is, if you're looking for a midsize SUV that's good looking on the inside and out, and gives you the choice of so many different trim levels, so many different engines, so many different option packages and price points, then you have to give the 2020 Blazer serious consideration. Or you could just say the heck with it and buy a Corvette. I'll leave that up to you. As an overall package, the Blazer delivers, and I'm glad they brought it back. And I think if you drive it, you will be too. You know, I've had a lot of fun driving around in this Blazer today because it's been so long since we've had our Chevy dealership. So I'm excited about future YouTube car reviews. And, well, quite frankly, I hope you are too. So I really appreciate you coming along with us today, and hope you subscribe and tell your family and friends to subscribe too. We'd appreciate it. Oh, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you our new store. Do you want to see it? Rosenthal Chevrolet. Right there. Yeah. In Alexandria, Virginia. Well, here we are at the end of our little car review. We certainly hope you've enjoyed it, and check out our new store. Very cool. I hope you, your family, and friends are all safe and healthy, and we just want you to stay strong, stay safe, and stay tuned. See you next time.